Yachayama, Eitama.
And of course, Mami Emma watching once again. Good morning to you across the country. I don't pay baby. I believe, sir, you know what time it is. Tonight, Black Stars of Ghana as against Croatia. Later on the show, we'll bring you more details on that. Now, already know there were permutations, no SA Kono, and pay you know be the whole and stay with us now. Once again, and that memory down of Yamamunina na Yamamunina Kwaba and Famra can W'asem Yie Jumedie so ewo Onia TV. So me Kwame up here could be friend Mr. Speaker. Once again, on behalf of production team, no, and pay Yadamunina say and I feel so Yamama Kwaba at the bar a Jumedie no. So now this week and Komahodo be Brenano and Etime Akoso will tell you more details about the ECOWAS court no aka about the ruling of the former Chief Justice for the Republic of Ghana about different cases I will file and said the ECOWAS court and they said that the Ghanaian Supreme Court follow due processes. But mind you, there are a lot more of the cases Supreme Court egosua eteso hoping say in July bosumi kwakuru omobetime at the judgment ahodo na so etime at the aba enti arope ebedi hon komo na afi wadwenche ni nyina so yetime agye mpacho obetime join here live on our Facebook handle na afi wo messages no wetime ade ni nyina no ade aba. Now this week again the Interior Minister aba under heavy criticism essence Mame said Nam Tamakulu the question of Sir Ufri America ebedro my Ghana mono the prison term of 10 years as or serve a court a trial in absentia sometime past is it really the case sir or prison minority raise a lot of concerns now the alarm said Dinam Tamaklo bedu Ghana nankese the Interior Ministry together with the Attorney General and the police and make sure say one more team edeno ako prison na afi ni jail term court edema what team serve. But the minister told us earlier on in the week yes indeed said Dinam Tamaklo ewo prison minority side in parliament said there be one more investigation so far review na what we more somewhere Wednesday Thursday and sana yetime said Dinam edino ako prison now concerns akwako yebebre ni nyina no anope ye no bede ho enkomo na afi watime ehu de ekoso. Now the PURC Public Utilities Regulatory Commission akase beginning 1st July and Kaniabo ebekosro by 3.5%, Insuobo ebekosro by 0.85%, and a tariff adjustment every quarter ebano formula and this time round PURC any utility companies ningina year juma already there are calls by a year TUC any guta said there be a buy and reverse it quarterly a year tariff adjustment because reasons ECG any Ghana water edema for the tariff adjustment sebi enyina so papa bia enim for that reason as I said tariff adjustment yetimi eyede for but PURC said that be enya there possible sir baby operations no akwa say no ɛho behia say tariff increment no etimi eba enti hyɛne so say ene 27th June say bibia no ansesa dia from a year 1st July ɛyade say wunsuo ene won kane abo ni nyina no ebetimi nso akosro na afei watimi atua ebo a ɛsese wotua now watwi mu the New Patriotic Party National Executive Council no akọ asetna na entokwa ekosi wo ho sign petitions ahodo over 10 petitions are NEC no receive so far about a year Kennedy Compre ko Japan requesting say party ni disciplinary committee entna ne petition so na animanimu ya no dodo a ehwe say won betimi ayi Kennedy Japan every party dem no san hyehyeye no party no enhwe na wo mfanya adwuma the national organizer of the party aka say NEC ekwa asetna no wo amma the disciplinary committee of the New Patriotic Party a maximum of 2 weeks na watwe me no say wo ntena petitions ne so na afei wo nhwem na baabia esese no kre no ekotobia no etimi akwakoto. It is expected say committee no ebe invite the Honorable Kennedy Akompreko Japan to the committee hearing na afei ono nso ne responses a wo nyina no watimi edi about this and many more ana anopay yene wo edi nkomo. President Mahama apase the your friend National Anti-Corruption and Ethics Action Plan eno no eye plan a omampanyin se ebeboa ma yetimi etu ketasehye any project. So now what 3 months omampanyin ama indication say wahye Attorney General say onye na on prepare a bill emfanko parliament said ye beya yebetimi abo state asset ho eban say eye aban asase aban dan aban car ni nyina no say eba ne say aban ne ye na dwen so obeton a yemfa emra ene hyehyeye ento akwan mu said ye beya aban bi obeba bia no wo see say yebehwe na yetimi abo Ghana ejapade ho ban. This and many more issues ana na wotwe mu nyina no esisi adopay yede ho enkomodie ni nyina no ede ebro enti stay with us na make ready because ene 9 o'clock p.m. exactly na the Black Stars of Ghana any Croatia game no eba so prediction no adopay yabeji ni nyina ewo message section ho na yakenkan ni nyina nso ede amount. Stay with us na Dr. Paul Agrebuache Dankwa a member of the National New Patriotic Party National Communication Team. He's a spokesperson for Chairman Wontumi campaign to become chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Adopay Watenase Benjamin Nsia ebe join here na afeinso Dr. Irakwa ebe join here as well. Stay with us na yentwa ye homra tiawa yeba nkomodie no ebe hyase. Mabena was once again Dr. Agrebuache Dankwa, a member of the New Patriotic Party, a member of the communication team as well, also a lecturer with the University of Professional Studies Ewo and Kraiha. Watinasi anope mame manache na me mana kwaba. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Na anyone what to say?
Yamiadum. Me patcho me hoye or their chain patcho na so
Radia Daroma, Yenina no ye. I'm happy to see you once again.
I'm blessed to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Academia no say na say
Mr. Speaker, Mitchell na me say with you for the worship for this is uncontroversially one of the most watched 3 morning shows on Saturday.
Thank you.
Me da se plan so me akwenye. University of Professional Studies and so omoda wase say eja say me who say majority of the burdened young people no that's their university of choice
exactly
because you're running a lot of academic programs your regular students or your evening students or your weekend students and your sandwich and I'm very pleased to be lecturing there.
Okay.
I
believe so. Yeah, to me, Mame Emma Benjamin Nsia Ache na Memana Kwabo, Executive Director at the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, SEMSE, na Adope Memano Akwaba. Ben, good morning. Na anyone want to say? Doc said Yamra UPSC, na Yemission idea.
Panel. Doctors in Quality.
Oh, I'm doing a product more now.
Just one step away. One step away, no, be a candidate. A doctoral candidate and a PhD candidate. Of course, why not?
I think UK is like
okay.
I also come now for natural resource governance, energy security, wait, my baby. Scholarship, Dr. Bitman scholarship.
Of course, I know there any problem. We can help.
What's the also very well. The Honorable Joseph Mensah, a member of Parliament, Edema and Koranza North, on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress. I don't pay or be joining here as well. Dr. Pargrave, Dr. Pargrave, Dr. introducing it there. Dr. Ifo Irakwa, a lecturer with University of Ghana, on also a be joining, especially with a African policy lens. Now, I don't pay in Komahodo, I winning in Ano, or more to me, I join. But look, me no open a beshas here because this week, it looks as if the new patriotic party Maba under heavy criticism about a year the boy copy more more neck meeting more year one more buy holding a banners and a placards indicating say Ken must go and no who send be and to quite see. I'll begin with you now. Mr. say I mean party no maybe I okay there because can say oko a year Bantama constituency. I hope say you are aware of what is happening there. There are several allegations. The Honorable W'asem Yie, the Member of Parliament, Alboma Yie for the polling station executive election and once on the Adebeto constituency elections, Aba Bedru region. Several allegations about the fact that involving constituency executives no on one building the album. Aman Tokwa Bebrinano SC Ewo Oko Edreswa. There are similar incidents. Plus the SC this week and the Kennedy Japan, whether or not say party no ebenya the boldness say masakeno from the party. And right, Nimiana grantee interview, Ralph lawyer say he's no longer a member of the party, but I don't know. You have worked with him and from the horse's own mouth, I hope say you give us much detailed information at Ghana for here.
Mr. Speaker, Medawasi, you come to school once and me Vice Chancellor, Professor Kukuma Oto, the Vice Chancellor of University of Professional Studies. Papa no pay me din chakesi edemao. Na minchia the leader and flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana. Na mi find chakesi in Suma the 3-term Ashanti regional chairman, Bernard Ntribu Isiakun, and incoming national chairman of the new patriotic party, Chairman Wuntumi, and then a few candidates. So when you say Asante region, first vice there, Yenia Bema Mufa near Deneko, na Mehusa Yawaso West Wogon, so Kofonso AP about him, Timmy Fan Chakasema, Barbara Kwashiga, Major Kwashigamba, Mifan Chakasemano. Mr. Speaker, the new patriotic party, foremost one of the longest serving traditions of this country. You go through a lot of formation. It's in 1947. The United Gold Coast Convention Party, your friend UP. Fionomba 67, Progress Party. Ebete Dankwa Dombo Buzia traditional 1992. Nanado Dankwa Kufuado Adaro Mane, John Ajokum Kufo, and Professor Dubuahin, party in Penifobibre, a fighting for multi-party democracy during the PNDC era. No, you be having the new patriotic party. Into the party has gone through various stages of formation. You know, now the National Executive Council, the National Executive Committee. There were a number of issues. Party updates from the various regions. So when you say restructuring and elections from the polling station, electoral area.
And as we speak, what be constituency nominations?
Constituency nominations. July. There are a lot of activities are also within the party. and party also no, we already have long-standing committees of the party. At every now and then, no, they refer it to those standing committees. Every political party, NDC, our disciplinary committee, our election committee, our planning committee, our organization committee. So these are long-standing committees of the party. Now, petitions are in Kofo Ediabano. So when you say the New Patriotic Party is a party of rule of law, party democracy and by far, this Fourth Republic, we have governed at least half of what the NDC has done, which is 16 years. So we able to make us say we are the biggest opposition party, rightly so, in the Republic of Ghana.
Okay.
Now, petitions be very by. But in Koma Ekoso the National Executive Council. Yes, in Koma Ekoso the National Executive Council, say petitions bar. The National Executive Council does not open it. So, and I said the National Executive Committee, and once so much petitions in here, no more the disciplinary committee. No more no more share the merit of it. Say, in Kofa, the petitions are whether they will invite them or whatever residual actions that they will take.
Okay.
At the National Executive Committee meeting, petitions are by, in Penifone Bieso. The former Rose Minister, Amwakwata, the committee of various members. Now, during the Executive Committee meeting, you say Nkofobi a demonstration let me condemn that act almost immediately.
Okay.
A very un-MPP like the New Patriotic Party, a party we obey in Yama ye party of values and a party of tradition. It's for a long-standing member of the New Patriotic Party as Honorable Kennedy Japon. We will not expect it, say, people will demonstrate in the manner in which they have demonstrated. And let's put it very clear. Honorable Kennedy Japon has served this party very well. At the formation of the New Patriotic Party in New Jersey, then Yankasa in US, in New Jersey, people were meeting to think about the future of the political party. Honorable Kennedy Japon was there. So Yebetumi say he's part of the founding fathers of this party, especially of this Fourth Republic. Now, only all our presidents have worked. Only John Ajukum Kufuor Ayejuma, President John Ajukum Kufuor, only President Nana Dankwa Kufuor Ayejuma, was our leader and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ayejuma. He was serving with Parliament, 6-term member of Parliament. Engejuma Ketwa was sitting on very influential committees in Parliament. Otiasie. Inti Shrubwa in Kofo Ediabano. I think that disciplinary committee I don't think, sir, and I don't want to prejudge the issues that are in front of the committee, but I don't think, sir, the position of the New Patriotic Party is to remove Honorable Kennedy Japon. I don't.
But that is what a lot of the petitioners call for. For instance, the Miankasa Minia Charles Etime Ede Ako. Now, very simple. He said, sir, for the time past, Kennedy Japon has been a thorn in the flesh of the NPP. And it looks as if, say, as a Obian who obeyed me at taking any disciplinary, measures against him. And he clearly, baby, I would deal in Komoko, Ninsema or Kano is not in favor of the New Patriotic Party. Rather, at the detriment of the New Patriotic Party. And there ought to be that bold decision. A party, they make us say, look, by the Constitution, no Kassetia party now, your membership is in question, and it ought to be terminated. And at this point in time, they are calling for the head.
The Speaker, we are incoming lawyer. Now, when him say, so be the Assembly Beto Committee Nima, as a somo yahu shemu. Inti, the fact is someone calling for the head, and no interest it is the position of the party yet.
Okay.
To be fair, inti, afena party eko yahu shemu. Now, invite whether or not. Honorable Kennedy Japon.
Okay.
You cited, say, Miakasa Minia Penny, lawyer Ralph Japon, Eddie Nkomo Indra. We all listened to it. yenim se nunua ene Honorable Kennedy Japan. Ghana hanum de politicians ni aye we nuanom. Oti ase Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nunua ene Gabi Asare Otredakun. Say Gabi Asare Otredakun kasa he does not speak in an official position of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
Ibrahim Mahama yenim se nunua ne Omampeni John Mahama. Say Ibrahim Mahama ekasa he does not speak in the position of President John Mahama. And I yenim say yen kwasi enua penny lawyer Ralph Ejapon ninia penny NA Honorable Kennedy Japan, but he does not speak in an official capacity of that. In fact, to be fair, see Honorable Kennedy Japan the architecture now or official spokesperson. The official spokesperson for Honorable Kennedy Japan has not spoken. It's here to me. In fact,
are those people not still at post? Because once upon a time during primaries, no. Only in a year, Juma, right? And I'm tempted to ask, those official positions are namukra at the time of the campaign, no? I mean, still now, no more dasukram, mugusu amoye, Juma, in those capacity, ana.
Not in the capacity as it was. So when him say, you could sign Peace Park, during the flag bearership elections, it was stated, say, see, there are no camps.
Okay.
The camp we have is the New Patriotic Party. But of course, I mean, Honorable Kennedy Japan, great politician in this country. He holds the right to maintain certain roles in his public discourse. And we have seen, say, Miankasa Minia Bema Kwesi Kwarteng has delivered certain conversations on behalf of Honorable Kennedy Japan post primaries. So we can confidently say he plays that role, which is not a continuation of the campaign role, but a continuation of an official role ABR Honorable Kennedy Japan has given to him.
Okay.
Because he's a former member of parliament. In some betumi abano outside the public. On one case also betumi ayejumedie in Ghana or bepeso obi kasamano. And so I mean I think that we can.
But how do you respond to the utterances of Ora Kennedy Japan? Me no be see about Ben. So the utterances, I mean the assertions will make here after say the minority caucus on the health committee at University Aferi Hospital. Now, the utterances are a bar after asking the fact, say, look, by July next year, a lot of things are going to happen. Threatening all the time, so to speak. These are issues, majority of the party bigwig are saying, say, and you're right. And I listened to Martin J. Mensah Kosa, former local government minister, Masanso Etie Kwabena Japan engineer, right? Saying, say, Kennedy Japan should be the last person. Our Becassin Crawford, a dinner term, people are responding to him in a negative way. The Bubefu, Obesho Party, the Bibi, Obechi, Bibi Kakra. They feel, say, it is high time, Ubia Bekano Krenache said, they all, I get enough. You cannot sing the party, you claim, say, who believe, woman, once upon a time, Nanka Pesu Bedi Party, then.
Speaker, I saw you to madam. But these are
the realities. I need to ask for clarification.
The minority caucus in parliament, a representation of the New Patriotic Party. The leader of the minority is Honorable Afenyo Makin. Now, there are committees in parliament. At every now and then, those committees must keep governments accountable. That's the role of minority. Into the health committee in parliament, with all of these no bed syndrome, and with the sterling worker, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the health sector, it was important, say, the minority leader commissions the health committee to go into Ashanti region and check the status of all your hospitals here. In fact, there is record, say, 6 of the Agenda 111 was commissioned. All we are waiting for is for government to put it into full operations. Machines will hold
6 and 3.
3 in Ashanti region, 3 in other places. In Tukani Nyaboma, but we've even completed more than that. They must all they need to do is to operationalize it. The leader of the minority commissioned the health committee to go into Ashanti region. And we are a government in opposition. The New Patriotic Party is a government in opposition and a government in waiting. This is the full body and the arms that is working on behalf of the government and on behalf of the party in governance. Omo akwakoye juma we, omo the reporter ba. Okay? Respectfully, Honorable Kennedy Japon, or a former member of parliament. He's not a current member of parliament. Okay?
And a former committee chairman for defense and interior.
We don't rule that out at all. But committee na ye sumo musomu koye juma no, the committee on health. Okay?
Yes.
Now, time changes and there are improvements and works. Documents are ABR, Mr. Speaker, Obewo as last week on a particular issue like Justice Tokonu may be updated as at this week because they say ECOWAS has made a decision. What he has here?
Yes.
It's for knowledge of what you had whilst you were a member of parliament and a chair of a committee, there may be changes thereof.
Yeah, exactly so. But he raises a very important question on that particular subject, indicating, say, look, it took us 8 years. The said project now, W'asem na and by your own assertion, minority leader might have commissioned the minority members on the health committee to go into it and see, say, a Henfana project, a Drew say. A simple issue of, we were in government for 8 years. 8 years, ye intimate in our project, Meanwhile, ye bar by ye project, up to a certain level. Now, the point is that, say, if for entire 8 years, ye intimate and completed project now, how then do you require a ruling party or a sitting government to complete such a project within a period of 15 months? Oh yes, sir, now it is just being hypocritical. And these were the direct assertions of the Honorable Kennedy Japon.
Mr. Speaker.
One would say, as a statesman, I mean, clearly, or your right to make those pronouncements. And I say, on your right, simply because one take party position.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot be in a position of a judge. That's number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we are, like I said, a political party in opposition and a government in waiting.
And at any point in time, somebody must be heard in line.
May Patrol, listen to me very well. You bet to Afari Hospital, no? You juma to about 90%. It's just left with about 10% of completion. Afari Hospital was not a neglect of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president of the Republic of Ghana. It was not. What he has here. Now, to be fair, Dr. Omanibuama, former minister for defense, Awenya Nibebiko, Obaya Oko take current update of Afari Hospital. Also, I can't just about 10%. For Afari Hospital to be completed.
Okay.
So in the 8 years of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, there were a lot of hospitals that were completed. What he has here, in addition to an extra agenda 111 that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo began.
By the completion, Afari Hospital
we didn't complete. Exactly. No, of course, but significantly to about 90%. And to me, we need about any other position. The government of President John Dramani Mahama is not a 15-month government. 5.5 years. This government is a 5.5 years government.
Well, how do you say it's a
5.5 years government?
President Mahama was voted for in 2024.
Of course, but it's a continuation. A continuation. You see, Abaino will not set up. This is President John Mahama's legacy government. Yemani who say after this government, he's done. He's not coming again as a president. Or yet the only president that destiny has been good to him. When you abutre atrasia observe an 8-year government. Into Wabano Eyahu Prepre. Do you understand what I'm saying? Into, of course, Metumiaka say it's a 5.5 year government because it's a continuation of John Mahama one from 2016.
You interrupted him for 8 solid years.
Of course.
There was no sequence of, event I see.
Of course, but there is no way America say a 15-month government. A year. 5.5 years government. Immediately, that is how I process it. Because of the Nejumani Baby,
very well.
After 2028, John Mahama cannot stand as president again. Instead, no Ubeka say 2028 we have 4-year government. No, Ubeka saw the 8-year government not be here because it's a continued government from 2016 till now. That's what we have to look at.
Very well, Doc. But that's Mamimra Ben in Siaso na maintain the kakra on this. Ben, Mamintio.
On the matter of principle, like I say, politics. I mean, shed anka hon, politics in some ma, investment. But mekabi, the entire mekabi is a vinia. These days, the current MPP one. I think that anytime there is a serious issue for us to discuss, MPP causes commotion. Right? This week, the most important issue and was discussing utility tariffs.
Yes.
But for some reason, they brought in commotion. And just any time nipa ho nsembeba say yebeka ho asem no na MPP di bibia be bom na change focus no from me was say ka ho asem no na yebeka ho asem. I don't know whether they are happy about it. It's their own problem. Na yenko agenda 111 whether you be we what MPP did, NDC so repeated the same thing. Agenda 111 okay those days. Kwame Mekacho say when you're a planner, right, you plan based on your resources, availability. Agenda 111 na edoso dro. Right? It was a very
ambitious.
Very ambitious program. It was a anka omu prioritization and I need based. Why mu ne hia ne kese? Because unim say your culture no say we free aban mu a because of procurement 10% no aban fufuro ba on to aso. And project delays are costing us.
As 10% near the here.
Oh, now say Dr. T here unim say uti aban mu a any the contract name a. One thing say na honorable Kena Japan, I think I heard the video. And now say this government cry project DSA pay 11%. So
for ton contract.
Ton contract. So say aban uti aban mu na o ton contract je 10% a. Aban fufuro na wa ban 1 year 10% inti no. Eye den a on to aso. And these are costing us. O projects be a delay agenda busha. Any project kuma. So I think that MPP agenda 111, even though they wanted to solve the issue of human capital, especially the health aspect of it, good no. It was overly ambitious. And you can say, "Come here, it's any money na." Say, "I can't remove." Wouldn't say you twist can be so good order.
Of course.
You to a good order than NDC aba on to aso because the 10%, right? Yenye nufio. Ma who say NDC will repeat the same mistake with their big push agenda. Our more expectation is over here about $10 billion, right? In the next 4 years to accomplish this big push agenda. Omunya size canon. Do not get it, right? Omunya. Nenso omukasa omubeye. Say NDC is one to man no free so MPP ba on to aso. You see, na I say abribiano Ghana jina dijina. Inti Mr. politicians. You plan based on your resources, especially the input aspect of it. Who need resources now? Man ko ye ni bebre. Ye di obetumi aye. Utimi wi a agenda 111 say mini yi sanka NPP 40 wi no cry plus to them. Ba kum ye no bi omutumi anka bi afari e no mutan mu wi di all the equipment, all infrastructure bibi here bibi ya carry dia kuguo ya commission operational. Obi abebo mo paso say oh mu wi no at least mu wi afari hospital. But ne why ni nyina so wan wi hwe. Sana NDC so big push on to me and they should mark it. They cannot finish anything because the $10 billion they are looking for do not get it. One of them make sense. So the politicians must learn 10% to know hard, but that is our culture. That is the political culture. But foot of the more MPP for they say yes wrong. It's a serious issue. But
a culture where we are trying to fight corruption.
Oh, you see, Minia, institutions. The best institution to fight corruption is a human institution. And if you want to fight corruption, we must improve our values. And the politicians some of them don't have values. Maybe that is value anyway, in the philosophical way, a value, because sana otie. Right? But when corruption idea, leader, no, not this leader, not the previous leader, not even probably the next leader. Anyway, it must solve corruption. Me sure politicians of Mukruma mean whom you bet must solve corruption. Not this president. Not at all. Not the previous president. And not the maybe future president. Right? Let's anti-corruption, ethical,
anti-corruption.
Let's build all the institutions. Kroma, let me tell you, there are over 20 institutions fighting corruption in Ghana here. Because the values, no, human no, once is no, any human managing institution, no. Any nipa ko manage institution. Na no abranti ya modern call if anything special prosecutor. This gentleman and his team, they on Facebook, on Metro say Central Refinery and other BDCs were engaged in some tax evasion or something. or mutual Facebook no the moment the CSO speak up special prosecutor called delete ad nephew. What delete you? With no reason, bepe on card enti or delete you. Yet Chroma or Bekache is 16 OMCs. We engage in evasion, blah 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 blah, diversion.
More divertive
fuel. What delete fuel? It's the human being. Until we build the human value system, no meaning corruption, no dear. Not President Mahama, not President Baumia. What if he becomes president in future? Not Nanado. None of them will be able to fight. Meaning a Dr. Tia or a politician, he cannot fight corruption. Because we've not changed our values. You insist on your values. You're very materialistic, especially from 2000 coming. Ubemu politician no live like American gangster or 20 cars, 30 cars. Was if you be brave? Oh, they coin. Like where? So I think that year 2 year home for no. Let's change some of these things. But me there, I put to my MP for no. Yes, Romo. Say, but say can national issues, utility tariff. I'm for this one. Omunya so much talk on ebe higher dream, ebe say a dance beat, you know. We want to talk about. And
also, na year basis here because a lot are calling on the fact. I mean, government as I say or revert a year tariff adjustment, you know. But PULC say it is an arrangement so every quarter it ought to go up, right? Quarterly. No. I mean, tariff adjustment.
It's not true.
Review, as I say, so 3.5% for electricity, 0.85 for a year water. As well, Mahum Kofonso from Endra Airbanning in a complaint and say crude oil on above from Kakra on the world market. I'll pay, as I'm looking at it, Ben crude approximately a year $72. Between $72 to $73 per a year barrel. Offer a year WTI and so approximately a year 69.20 and you could see 69.70 I mean per barrel. And clearly no fuel no ain't mean kosunina bebia ejina no. And then say ejina hokra no. Why do we have to come with a year another tariff adjustment? Because already what the deal levy, right? What the doomso levy and you know justification that utility companies no pese omodeba ma yeto enyinam kania bomu ensuo bomu no enye justified utie guta bega chiro say no o technical losses in the door so enti fix here no rather than say o pese consumer ni mom na e bear the cost of one kasa inefficiencies are within the sector enti maminti on that and sana my backdrop so from the experts point of view.
I think that I don't know the mebaha now MPP for ni omodi omoye yeah. So first of all I think that Kwame was correcting you Mabiwa. Matese PRC boss akoka mo sister station se Bosumi Biano the finance minister for I think $92 million to pay for fuel. Mr. Enyanokre.
The power the thermal
Enyanokre. It may be historical but because the time see the new depreciate you know they are buying they assist the utility company in terms of say all the free debt in but in there so we catch us a finance minister echo for $92 million and I'll give you based on their own figures. Yes, some say last year you share the fuel for the power sector. Now if you fuel for the power sector no we realize that the government spent $19 million a month to power the sector on fuel. And the assumption is that this $90 million no was not factored in the tariffs build-up. Because tariff build-up, no, other fuels in Kahon, apart from the natural gas, it is computed in the build-up. Now, no, and yes, some say data. Your data and for free, Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana, may who Sika, you import to crude oil for power sector, thermal plants, na use crude, no. You ko MP, the volumes of heavy fuel oil are the core sector. You cycle MP, the gas oil are at the core power sector. So we call it gas oil for power. You use VRA, ni grid ko more data, our computers or more data oil per metric ton. Even though last year, we but you share that you use data. And we computed and realized that it is only $19 million a month dollars in editor fuel. Until we catch us finance minister kofu $92 million. It's not true. Now this year, Minia, Osha cash waterfall mechanism normally ban. They've done well. Mebo PRC abaso.
Okay.
And we are speaking to their own data. Oshe cash waterfall mechanism na. Omuka say expected amount also mutuyama WAPCO $6 million.
Okay.
In the month of April, thereby, they were able to pay all the $6 million to them. TM said WAPCO says is equal to 6. Anambwa. Almost be the fuel levy. Assuming main finance assumption that Sasikan Yedikutia fuel ayeto edima power sector no. 77 million Ghana cedis. Meaning all the 11 cedis are 11 to $1. That's about $7.7 million. Pakoka 6 no. We are yasi yetia Jubilee any 10 for gas ayeto no. Yetium about 12 million Ghana cedis. And San Ebetia Ghana National Gas Company Limited 33 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
All the Kambomwa almost our gas na free ho eba no. And also about 45 million Ghana cedis. Meaning all the converted in the current 11 because assuming say cedi ni 11 that's also about 4.something million Ghana cedis. Meaning 4.something million Ghana cedis, 7.7 million Ghana cedis, and 6 million Ghana cedis the Tuyama WAPCO no edru 92 million. It doesn't. So I think that Shafiq, maybe historically yes, but now Ghana is not paying any fuel 92 million. It's not true. Onya isa seminar okano. Now two, Minia. SEMSE and other CSOs are not against. Mahuse Minia no Imani, Franklin so releasing paper on this subject. We are not against quarterly review.
Okay.
Because we believe that sector no was financially sustainable, robust. Because liquidity position in Shadanye. And now say yandi sikano and free Ghana ni one farm cross sector na enye. But what we are against is say abbreviation uti reviewer, it means upward adjustment. No, it doesn't mean so.
Oh, but in the month of April, some more adjusted downward.
Oh, and 4% decline. It was so, but almost share that demand because that time all the data were positive or had improved in favor of the consumer. Now, young third quarter, I will not use any data. Let's use their own data. Data now, I must say, we have two indicators and a set tariff. Your market indicators and macroeconomic indicators.
Okay.
Market indicators need two. The energy mix and what the weighted average cost of gas. It is factored in the price build-up of tariff. Ghana Nibia auto Kania Bia Utia so because now say you the 1.2 billion air koto gas into Oboa. It is there, we pay. Na minia yetu no. PURC maeti say the energy mix no, which is 21 hydro and 79 thermal no, a constant from the third quarter and also from the second quarter to the projected third quarter ni besimu no.
Okay.
Almost say answer. 2. Energy mix na mu PURC maeti say the weighted average cost of gas, Kwame, in the second quarter was $8 per British thermal unit. In the third quarter, now the weighted average cost of gas is $7.9 per British thermal unit. What it means is that the cost of gas now, the power thermal plants, Eswati, above. So it has improved Eswati by 1.58%. In the market, now let's go to the macroeconomic indicators. There are two variables: exchange rate and then inflation. Or see inflation no, and also no, or more paper no, announcement paper no, inflation no, are improved by 17%. What it means is that in the second quarter, inflation was 4.something.
Yeah.
But in the third quarter now, next week, inflation is 3.something. And a more percentage, or more use percentage points, or more change. Change in it, say, I improve 17%, which means inflation so what? Now, the only problem with the macroeconomic indicator no, is exchange rate. Now, I'm saying the exchange rate depreciate here 0.2%. Minya.
And the cost factor may be here.
Fine. It is exchange rate, inflation 17%, weighted average cost of gas 1.58%. Energy mix a constant. Argentina only exchange rate 0.2%. It means increasing tariff 3.49. There's no justification. So what it means is that PURC decides to pick their own data right? And then publish whatever tariff they want.
And the last time I was back studio, no, even in terms of the exchange rate, you made it clear, say, at the beginning of the year, the preceding year, no, the fourth quarter, no, and there. I mean, almost share the existing rate. Now, almost make a certain projection, right? So they anticipate, say, okay, for now, the year 2025, a close with, let's say, 11 cities, give or take, end of first quarter, you second quarter, no, a CD, no, a depreciate. So your project here, exchange rate, no, enko ebia 12 Ghana cedis, right? Na yenhwe so enfan charge ye boa ye pese ye den ye de charge. What it means is that always, you know, there's an upward projection that PULC, you know, any utility companies, you know, make in terms of the tariff charges are almost there, almost the mine. You raise the concern, say even with that, ASCC, because at the point I will be making projections, you know, say ekobane say exchange rate ni good. Won't downgrade Emma from beam. You still stand by with projections are wired that. So always, you know, there's a favorable condition for PULC, any other utility companies. So how come say at any point in time, no PULC will decide say for the mere purposes of exchange rate across your kakra, inflation at the shop take kakra, and you know ye increase at any point in time. My question is that, as I said, sinking in because already you know what cater for those eventualities.
So you see, and also the choice of data and methodology in Ukraine also standardizing methodology. You see, Osha historically under Ishmelaka, right? Before I call it Krano. Ishmelaka, for example, because my follow on the time kakra. Ishmelaka or more time no, they're not omo say. I mean, PK Sapon rather. Yes, on MPP for Sapon, no. I think the former PRC boss also the Sapon. So, Oshe, I call a friend saying, Ishmelaka, Kwame. Ishmelaka used to use projected. And the entire used to projected data, and they say, projected, no, that she said, but
yes,
there could be what we call over recovery or under recovery, right? Say, but exchange rate now you see, you know. Say, exchange rate, you know, a depreciating, projected, no, a depreciating further. Or under recovery, say, was in subsequent quarter, no, or the toso, na consumer nutia. Sansuna, Western Red Obey, who used to project that, say, a depreciate, appreciate here, there's over recovery, which means consumer nutia broso.
Exactly.
In the subsequent quarter, no, it was introduced. Now, let's go to 2025. 2025, Shafik Baye, you know, and this current PRC, I don't want to mention his name as he may single or no out. Okay, projected now, we used to projected throughout. Now, we use projected throughout no, the third quarter tariff. Omo exchange rate omo use here no, na exchange rate no, higher
than the existing.
But omo compute fourth quarter no man fanka hon, consumer not benefit. Okay. So what it means is that when there's an over recovery, consumer doesn't benefit, and it's not fair. So na third quarter no, there was an under recovery, and then the omo be shame. So said
the only person with the under recovery.
That where they cry the under recovery because they've not stated that there's under recovery. Now when you say this year 2026 almost is approach, you know. In 2025 we use projected data.
Okay.
They use projection, but this year no, they are using historical data. So here almost first multi-year review order now 9.86 no, in January no. Omuko use historical data. Omo buy second quarter now also matter so 4% no. Omuko use historical data from December. Into December exchange rate, January exchange rate, February exchange rate. Okay. And omo de be share bo no. Now the question we ask is that now who use historical data? History na twem. So if you use historical data to set tariff, you are not being reflective. That is not reflective tariff. Okay, sa quarter year can one third quarter year see any kwan so mutumi. And some use historical data. They use the data from April to June. I think first April to 6th June or so. And also a historical data. I didn't think I will use you. Because if you had used projected, then time now Bank of Ghana I injecting liquidity or the dollars be able to boom.
I stabilize
into projected CD nature said
$1.4 million.
What it means is that the CD is likely going to appreciate in future. So if they use the projection, so they just have to use the historical again. And I think that you see Adibakwa made two omofu. Transparency is key. They should learn from MPA. Who can fuel asem? I can sit and tell you based on MPA transparency. They say by Wednesday, diesel will be matched by 20%.
Okay. It is so price floor no be form, right?
No, make us say bet Martin, and yes, make us say assumption no, a bet by about 20%.
Yes.
Because MPA publishes all this data. PURC doesn't publish any data. Omon cash, you bet you no more be kuku dia betum. Okokana obi akotina we say finance minister is paying fuel 92 million. Finance minister dey sika na fuel no. 1.95%, almost 2%. Ghana no tua petrol so. Ghana need a sign contract. No. These politicians go and say they sign any contract. Can buy a sukutia. Kwame will not sign contract. No.
That
And I mean, you are Dr. Pebble Wunimubi. We don't sign contract. These guys going on sign contract. Kaba musikutia. This year, energy sector and energy sector debt, energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy. 1.95. No. When say last year, almost say my 8.86. This year is likely going to give us about 13 billion. In this, I will be finance minister at $92 million. And you sika. I'm going to sign a contract no. And unfortunately, they are repeating the same mistake. Because still no, almost sign thermal contracts, gas infrastructure, you build the thermal. At the end of the day, they will build the thermal, and that's the one the stock, which is the natural gas to feed in expensive gas oil. So I think that PURC and any politicians, Charlie, we've had enough of you guys. Let's plan. Country needs planning.
Okay.
And we need critical thinking, not always say Mubana Beji Sikana, Biamudia Kruma.
Medase Benin Yie, Executive Director for SEMSE. Now, Dr. Hefoda Irakwa Atinas Mihunache. Doc, good morning.
Speaker, good morning.
Ukuli hati FFA. Oh, I see. Doc, now, University of Ghana to say, you who watch it?
And the crap move and chemi, a human dorsal, into Bayer Nakakre, Mumu, and I just say, yes, one food also, or training in a Tina, Jumedi, the Miko Piba before.
As you can use up,
oh, make any pa, and Tina, and soon as I said to toss, not so when you call and you may be home. Yes, I had Waboka. And Pesma Becca said, more than a cat.
Okay. Very well. And remember also, but my member Dr. Padre, so Doc, Mamintio on the tariff adjustment issues. I mean, I think Ben has done justice to it, but they are also Becca because Ghana are not expecting this, not at all.
Speaker, in here Kenya the we know the legacy of this government. You say Yabaya Omriako Dunsomuda, Ama Industries, FLA collapse. Nkofo Lucium Wijuma, Nkofo Swaro Monkwa, Nkofo relocating out of this country. Inti Kenya de in here. Senior Minia Bemaka, in governance, we hear an appreciable level of transparency. Because you cannot govern without the people. To me, say who boo mind without people. Yes, you be or see or ye candini. So who to an amount not so be the way here. Now I can't do anything.
Okay.
Into PRC, maybe by policy suggestion, Omombo said they will carry the country along at every stage. You know, some mechanisms or no calculations in Niama, but it's also making sure say at every stage, they carry the Ghanaians along. Prices in India, everyone money wedding. What you say? Tariff adjustments, electricity kakra beto, water kakra beto. As so making sure say at least a sizable part of the Ghanaian population, are able to afford it.
Okay.
Na pass ebe to light mu and as ebe to so mu na unya kanya and as na unya so. Then wherein lies the adjustments na mo ye no. For me, I call for an equal journey. Se money Ghana for be too kwan. Se see I wo June. Omo ye tariff adjustments boso me miensa be meka omo sign another one be meka ho nti omo ye hu percentage wise I mean across the year say na be ya ye nya e betumi apply because mo ye adjustments ya ketu kakra ye nya me nya be ma Dr. Irako akweti onya o Lagos media me nya o UPS ye no an ye crack ye sound to mu sitting vice president say ye den ya omo to yakweti mu so we are still there but yes still we increase
also renegotiation na Nyamba table
Nyamba ya na tese yentum eno ano no yen renegotiate ya tese yentum esika kitwa na yenya na na ebenya Mr. Speaker it's almost making sure that at least over the period in percentage wise how they will be able to do it we can budget and plan well.
Okay. Mame Emra Dr. Kwasona maintain. Doc, Mame Emra also now we are dealing with a subject of a year tariff adjustment, any increment PULC at the ebb from a year 1st July, and then NPP. So what is happening with a year Kennedy Japan and the account? Just the two issues now maintain. Mame Kaiti was the Honorable Joseph Mensah is supposed to join us. The a year. Okay, he's supposed to join us, a member of parliament on the ticket of the NDC, or no in Kwanza North Emrashe Bidwani, NT Oba, he as well will join us na yetimi eneno edin komo. But Mami Entio.
Speaker, Mechia yetie for ne ahwefo, Mama Minu no monso achi. Yetene se miyobia mene enipa sabio mobro ehia won edi enyansa wo so pa enti da no make asa na make kaisa ankrofo no that population no if you say you be hu say e adekitwe bi but what is the net impact on the lower tier 4 no
okay
obi wo ho no pay nyodi bedum kokukura yeden enti the any slight change in price no affect him and yes, it affects any panonko. It affects all the dependents within that chain. And inti Niamekane say we can't also say a group nintino yemfa price adjustments.
But a lifetime consumers, there was some benefit.
Absolutely. But you see, what I think we have not done well, you can lifetime consumer. So your consumption level is within certain threshold.
Exactly.
But any typical household where you find these lifetime consumers now, they don't own meters to themselves. And a number of households sharing a common meter. And by the time I'm aggregating that individual consumption, they have exceeded the minimum threshold. And so now they don't even benefit from the entire, we're lifetime consumers. And I think that is something that I say, and see how effectively bet me translate this benefit to Sankrofona Yapese Yanyansa was so on. Is there a possibility say instead of say one big compound house, a meter or two, no, can we get a number of meters? So na benefit here can once a bit me aka. Maka de say we minute minua Dr. Boachi Dankwaya been say. Debia make say if you say ukase education board there try illiteracy, then you see that it's more expensive. Every be a try more from her na ye ni anyama hoden. Meaning how much and I'm spending on fuel to power generator. And it is a would need ensure sika was said the tonsuo compared to say Ghana water air running through taps sika and over spending. Say would need anyama hoden na say we find an alternative. Now what many anyama hoden sika was spending is a lot more. And it is a tumu na say ye be guarantee say anyama hoden no mensa betumi aka medetumi ay menhyehyeye eni se bodwa bi na meye mpo se fridge bi na medeton ice water me guarantee me assurance say metumi anya anyama hoden dia power aton me nsuo then I can plan. But we na echi na obeye no na afei at the end of the day no wonni anyama hoden be di ujuma na ese ukoto nsuo ese utumi kra and you end up spending a lot more money obesa sika to get the same thing na wutu aka no. But interestingly bill no the ensesa bill never no. Whether you consume or not, I don't know what is happening. I had to confront Obi within the Ghana water. So bill no once a meter no on. I'm saying no, that is not right. It's metered. Into say me consumer. Enna ese ebeleme. To man consumer, why do you bill me? So I'm just saying say, as I say, may ni ko ho. Na improve say we are not just increasing. Yen to mu akeke na mum efficiency no. Enipa na ye sumo no. Yen hwese na ye de sumo no. Omo nsa tumi aka. Eba ne sa but
even with that, I'm on for concerns. Yes, ECG, and for Ghana water crowd here, W'asem Yie and for your cake because of, challenges almost facing, making sure, I'm saying, sooner say, and TS, almost a lot of input and some refining. Even with that, people say, for a whole long period, several months, will be ensure Emma on the tap muda. obie the tap and so be ama yet yesi ontua I mean water bill again issue ni mana otua the existing amount in the crown osan the baby account. But for ECG, people have said I mean all technical challenges, all technical losses are we incur all the time. Why don't you improve on those technical losses unya at every point in time in your delivery of a year power to the households and the companies? Again, government institutions are use power now in Triano. Why don't you deal with them? Because omo use power now as a so mutia. At the end here, side money no, it looks as if say we ignore them. Ye ne kwan bi e first why e solve side. So rather no, the end Ghanaian average consumer no, and at any point in time, ye percent ye taxing more. Na otimitua more and sana ECG no etimia survive due to no ankasa shortfalls I mean or experiencing in the sector. One says it's fair for us to be going on that tangent as a country.
I think I think the problem I have this country is yen standard I set my own too low.
Standard no form.
Standard I set my own form. And into ECG any nipa ECG no. They were a year one day, say, or Belco Babia, one sabbat to me, I can easy money. Babia offers a wire ding on found quite quite problem. The same for revenue a generational organization. Many why it your taxes into Basha, the tax bracket, no, a nipaka crabby, or more mutiano, or more than there be a one. Now, Musumo, say we are private business, now the one so may business into my file, there be a console. But there are several others who making more money, or making more sicker. But one year try to say or we go through that. And I think say to a very large extent, Yama coin ama two things. Number one, Yama amanyosem addicted kwanya ibefa so edi enjuma in these state-owned enterprises.
Okay.
Number two, centralizing governance. Emwa. Woshe amaya hura akon kaini na yeba city authorities or to me pa. Just look at any developed, any advanced country. One city authorities no or to me enti was shemra. Emra bi owa applicable to ABI mo cry. It's not applicable to mo Koforidua and important because this is what nas here who say. You bet to me edi atutu akwemu abua ma yen amambu epase yebu kwan epase ye edi manage yen city no etumi akoso eni ti se yan to me anhye sa yen MMDAs na yan hye onkutupa na wanya sa ahoden no antumi ansi ginae na bibia e obedan aban so be manipulate nia ebeboa ne interest enti aban wo ye no ebra authorities na epase wo insist on the law no aban dream say enya wo ye enipa no su na wan hwe aye kwose ye sre wan se won to abamayen a won to abamayen bio but until we divulge sa enima mienu yi ye be separate won say wo wasade enie hwe mete ayi Adenta municipality drip equipment is here but look at the roads ye train say obi penyi bi sorry no kasa say ya that one ye be yen adwuma what is the use of a municipality or MMDA na dwumadia dey ahya won say won peso asika kra governance no so aban o man penyi dey ahya won say wo hwe so na eno no wontumi nya ho adwuma na say you are useless. I'm sorry to say we need to separate sub powers na empower the MMDAs to be able to take decision. Why should all of us in Accra say you be depending on water supply from Pong and somewhere else? Assembly, no, the municipality should be responsible. Say, municipality, no, and you gonna water. I said here, I said here, measure say many Ombenians are so na enipa etem so my catchment area, no. I want to serve them and serve them well. And the kwai bi e be fa so e be nyansu e de asom sa nkofo yi no. I said here, kwai bi e be fa so e de nyamahom anyinamahoden e de asom ye nkofo no. And I said here, that is how we should be thinking going into the future. Okay. On Kennedy Japan.
Okay, just a quick one on that. Nah.
I think say my tie ononyamfo Kennedy Japan. Sabe ensem bi wo ho a wo ye panyi a ye ka wo them. Ye want some I can't want thing. And you want some you can't with them. na yɛse he who wants equity must come with clean hands.
Yes.
Sɛbe memfoa kasa enipa bi ne ka no so sɛbe wɔyɛ no nyamfo wabɔbra enti yɛse yɛde nidi ɛfata ɛde ma no. Na mmom sɛbe wakɔyɛ panyin wɔn so wɔanum kasa ɛmɔfra sua wanamontuo mefɛsrɛ sɛ nea ɛkɔ so no I don't endorse it.
Okay.
Na mmom no there is a greater good in what he has done. Ebra wa ban mu wantumi anka nsɛm yi ɛnɛmre a oni aban mu ɛna wɔde saa nsɛm yi ɛtudwa me feel say opportunity abama MPP amanyoko ne sɛ abra wɔkɔ for disciplinary committee hearing yi wɔn hwɛ sɛ wɔn treat Kennedy as the accused na mmom wɔn hu ne sɛ ɔyɛ witness sɛ nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ a information bi wɔ hɔ a ɛwɔ no hɔ a obetumi de abɛboa Ghana amambuo because ɔse ɔwɔ information wɔ hɔ nti yɛn hwɛ sɛ yɛbɛnya saa information na free no hɔ na MPP nsaka then the onus now will be on MPP as a party say obetumi escalate saa information yi to the appropriate agencies a wɔn ho kwan sɛ ɔbɛyɛ investigation no me feel sɛ we a patriotic citizen a yɛwɔ ho kwan sɛ nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ na ɛnkɔ yiye a ɛnyɛ abɔnten yɛde bɛto yɛn report to the right authorities but wɔanyɛ ne saa ba opportunity naba let's make sure say we get as much information from him and nipa ɛwɔ akyire a or allege sɛ kitasɛhyɛ ne prayer bi akɔ so no yɛn mo kwan natural justice na mo nso mra meyi wɔn ho ano. That is how we can govern this country.
Okay. Mami, and now it's just about 10 minutes after 9. W'asem Yie, so the speaker now. You try your home right, but we'll go a little bit into a year ECOWAS court ruling one more at the buy. Now, I think we'll do a bit of a year sanitation issues and so now the area with a year the Black Stars of Ghana. And stay with us. Now, you try your home right.
Cadbury hot chocolate. Muton. Awodi cocoa. Milk. Ni eshi tray na ye. Cocoa. Akono. Eniji.
Mommy, and now I say once again, it's exciting in the studio. Doc Bisame said the prediction the other day, definitely Ghana Beshe, but among for so HS. You're person be share Portugal, right?
Oh, you bet me share Portugal, you sure.
Sports team never join at the latter part of the show. Now, get me at this common. But look, my member also I mean Tio on a year Justice Tokono, former Chief Justice. Baby and in common Aqua Kudru. Onim say issues I see concerning the removal Okoya Kupiemo ECOWAS court. And court at this message. What they buy does that mean, sir? I mean, clearly, I buy procedurally and require so and follow here. And the court has said, say, I mean, there were no lapses in terms of the law, any application I buy. Speaker,
law is growing. Now, for me, senior me Canada, no, Omampeni John Dramani Mahama. He's been the most fortunate human being in this country as a public servant.
President Mahama. Or shall I say as assemblyman? We be a minister. We be a MP. We be a vice president. We be a president of the Republic of Ghana. In fact, Ocean journey now in this fourth republic, Obioni Honma we be sada. Inti as a president of the Republic of Ghana, no 1992 constitution, no yeyemao. And for me, nanka nyanka me pen say, ye masa nyema we embam beka yabako sem ho. Say a sitting president, whether or not procedural or not, administer processes of a removal of a senior judicial leader like a chief justice, which forms part of the arms of government. Nanka media nanka penisa say ebeye one of the legacies of President John Dramani Mahama. Nanka penisa. Nanka nyame penise. Nanka yebeshe na former Chief Justice Tokonu ninjuma waye wogana no odi abewiye ama Omampeni John Dramani Mahama enya akwenya appointee a new Chief Justice. Nanka pese ebeba be ye ni say. Now so enye nia me Boache Dankwape ena Ora John Dramani Mahama pe. Eja ECOWAS court a ruling in favor of Ghana. Because when you say Ghana, a member of the ECOWAS sub-region. Yes.
It's a ruling in favor of Ghana. But yen kind so say, in yema bi wo no ma ye ya etra isa amaye. And then we have a new Chief Justice. Yen minyema ekoso wo Ghana. Political persecutions are ekoso. Yenim how the sitting Attorney General by all cases are previous government eshasie or ye ninya also on to aso ninya all of them. Now oye incoming lawyer. Oko law school cases na wo disua de me patcho me boa.
Yes.
Ye free BB case reference. Say esibida ebiesida now they are here reference. Now I cite wo cases no now they are yen enjuma e wo. They are yen
fato ho.
O they are yen fato ho e wo court. Inti senior the current Attorney General ama the legal system and I said the law system no an opportunity to learn from some of these cases na yade ha me. Because a majority of the cases that na work out no obi anka so omwe for. But we are testing our law. My law no enya nwodin aye potent. In Yemaye, me trade international business or UPSA. It has adverse effect on international investors and trust in our legal system. Because the legal system is overly politicized. The legal system it stands for the law. Ebetumi boom brano ama mranenya hoden etumi na hono.
But Doc, one would ask, I mean, is there any lapses in terms of, I mean, law, procedure, any BBR? Are there breaches? Because concerns are former Chief Justice raising even an external court have said no. I mean, the articles, the reasoning, the rationale, as well petitions are a bar establishing a prima facie to ensure say substance be or NTN referma committee in international. These are equally, I mean, procedures. Any processes are namra kwai so ana eye. So I mean, for you to go on that tangent, the assumptions are that as a obi asheda ana osi oyi chief justice a free ho. But there were petitions by and a president, by law, as it requires, why in Juma as president. Where do you fault him as president in Tia? A bit lower investor confidence.
Mr. Speaker, you see, you are the Hunya Quine. To Asomami, you are the Hunya Quine. Can you mean the Fatah? And you need the Fatah with that saying. So, many Dr. Irakwa, you call Sumbako. Otiazie nti ye wade hu nya kwan so nye ni nya ne fatan enkomo me di ni nya no ye enkomo on the fact say ye twa esebia that should be the beba be hayen oyo mampeni in krata bebre ba weni ba wa ye eja amagana ni now nti sende enyema ekoso with political persecutions ekoso nyai and having representation in the international domain. Ninya also bearing a character on Ghana. Meanwhile, so maybe an Ghana you sue any abandon. It's of course say law na kike Canadian, but you wadi hunya kwai na so nya de hunya ne fata.
Okay.
Or penny justice tokonu. Say me say retirement package ni de hunya he. Anamebwa.
Yes, sir. I mean, benefits be that.
It's in patron person bisao. You may refer no as former chief justice, and I say, you refer as former chief justice. See you with the person who say, yeah, Kagana Bako Sema, near former chief justice of the Fourth Republic, but Obeka one as on count.
Oh, of course, definitely. He should occupy the office before
in Obeka home.
You might want to address, but in terms of records, there, I mean. Any hosa,
hey, any ayedi, any ankaminya ya na kono so kese kakra ke pese ya de man okoji na ohomeso but eja enye nya mebu achida nkwape e na toko no pe.
Okay. May I say, Jonathan, I should be about say good morning, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jonathan, and I'm watching you live from Swedro. Keep on the good work. God bless you. Odia with the Abanono. Akrokeri Tiero watching you, Mr. Speaker, and your team. Keep doing the hard work for Mother Ghana. God bless you. Edu Kingston said more fire this morning. Doc is just running around the issues when it comes to Kennedy Japan. He does not want to respond to your questions. Kofi Ketekere Ediaba or say good morning, Mr. Speaker. Great show by all standards. Benjamin Insia is a solid energy expert. Kofi Ajiman, black man, say watching you inside Pig Farm. Good morning to you and your team. Janet Ami say good morning, Ebusiafo. Great show by all standards. Watching you live from Media Kotoku Ana Odewe Free Ede Aba. Teacher Constitution Ewo Wiamoase or say I appeal to the NPP youth chanting Ken must go. To be patient, our leaders see the bigger picture. When Kwabena Ejepong, Paul Afoko were all suspended in 2016, the party still won. So why put pressure on the current executives? Let them work and do the right thing at the right time. The NPP is larger than any single member of it. We must uphold the constitution of the New Patriotic Party for victory in 2028. Odia, but a very long one. Al-Hassan Idris will say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Any team, Joe 2. Thomas Ede Abba or say Bawasaba watching you live from Tema Community 2 BBC Anna Odewe Free Ede Abba. Thank you for a message. We say we miss Dr. Irakwa. My greetings to him from Brussels. Anna Edu Kingston Odewe Free Ede Abba. No pay my enchia. More share from Brussels. Ko Crazy in the Aba or say good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm watching you. My appeal is to the NPP family for them to unite. So we can win power in 2028. Divisions will never take us there. Humado Ediaba or say good morning, Speaker. Every Ghanaian would want electricity tariffs to go down rather than going up every quarter. But we must also understand the need to maintain a reliable power supply and keep the light on. I want to remind the NPP communicators that electricity tariffs were increased significantly during their time in government, including 2023 adjustment, which rose up to 63%. And Ode Abanono. Ebu Mohammed said, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Your show is standard. God bless you and your team. Ode Abanono. Muhammad Hassan Ibrahim said, good morning, Unia TV, watching you live. This weekend, you make our Saturday mornings exceptional. God bless you and keep it up. Mamadi Trawali Ede Abba or say, good morning, Speaker, and your team. Ghana will win today, surely. I like your outfit. Ode Abanono. And those are a couple of messages. Modi Abba Doc, maybe also just a quick one on that. Now, I feel you remember Black Stars issues, no? So I don't remember say Meno Mkwana Shejisi. Doc and Shejisi, but I understand him over and I say Onibi. And no Doc Memobi. This is the day I'll be. But Doc Mamintio.
Right, Medas Beverly, Nyedi Kain. For me, say Yamame get to talk on.
Yes.
Ni see, you know, Wama Sena. Doc, I watch it on a case, or build a case for debate training. I'm sure that I'm not law school, no two cases. Now, a very good say one tenacity. I hold a view, say, and I'm on what to what testy and lost in different facets. Na a boa my yeshe and mrenu emuting. Na momono, menyem renim for, and I'm renimni. Eno nti se mihia nkyere mu a mepese meje afutu afi obi a waben wo mrem.
Okay.
Na ansana we nyina be hyase no. Omampanyin saka a petition no. O se what they call Council of State. Eya bedoku a etu omampanyin fo. Na Council of State no yen constitution no aye ne se at least ye benya obi a waben ewo mremu okan Council of State no enti na ye maame Sofia Kufu former Chief Justice ena eka ho na se Council of State enipa enima mra amenya ebia lawyer fo bi bewo mu na mum se ye kan nipa within that body no aben ewo mremu a ebetumi identify say there's a prima facie case in law. I would go with the view of the former Chief Justice relative to other people on this on the panel. Now, ye nyina be who he said it was the former Chief Justice against every other person. Enti onia wabeye Chief Justice Spain na otu abainfo enyema efa emrehu esi debi minimum nya
say a collective body and it
is important.
It is important. The decision is made on the substance of what the Council of State say it ought to be. And mind correct. You, aside the fact that the Chief Justice or a retired Chief Justice must be on the Council of State, and there are equally other aspects, some of whom might have knowledge in law, but substantially, just as the Constitution requires, you know, or no na emrana ekase as I say otinaso. Is
it Speaker? Me know what to hear. I don't really mean obiara our Council of State member and any expertise or the buyer. But near minimum say former Chief Justice Sofia Kufu, the former Chief Justice of the Republic.
Yes.
Na ye nyinaje to mu say ye ba emra e wo manyimu a wakwadre mu. And inti issues like this no metie na futuo relative to any other person. I mean the expertise or the back. That is my personal position.
Okay.
And Nunti said, this is what this woman said. Now other people think otherwise. Ultimately, it is democracy. So the majority had their way. But it does not invalidate the position, say. Nia yeni na nim say ono na ben when it comes to Emra, the Constitution of the Republic and all the laws of the land, wafemu, waye judge, abe Chief Justice, administer similar situations. Also only two abine for, omampenyu for, or the futu baye no. The majority thought otherwise. I think, sir, I am not happy when I fast so Eddie Chief Justice talk on the free. I must say it. If you say, just ye biara, and depending on baby ujina, you would justify and especially people in government. I will justify and now me tell be say MPB crampo 2 na says and you want yes na say it is where you are standing baby ujina na inti and no ma wo to ne wasa no different ochina ekobase power changes hand na say and obi nso kofa a tricky position bi na afa ye de ko yi another chief justice na I say ya boss na to ho enti assistant no obi e pe kwan a ono so ba I don't have to be a prophet ma hu say chief justice bia e be obewo akongwa no so aban be power no the likelihood say the opportunity to also initiate similar proceedings against the person will be very high. If you say obi actually say this is how you can do it. Now honestly speaking, the issues that have been tabled I work in a public institution. Public institution. There are processes say bibi ena yede mawa kwan wo wa ofa wo unsaka. Now as I speak, auditors are at the University of Ghana or more audit the university. And my unit is one of those that they have come to a more auditing. Woba na se bibi wo na se wo bisa me na me nima. Me se we bacho monko accountant ho na monko bisa accountant because these issues they are finance decisions. And I would give you the backing documents now more they are taking audit decision or they are making more audit decision. I think some of the issues are trivial. Some of the issues are trivial. If you work in a public space, they are trivial.
For me, let me also for me, and come away and come I feel say first of all, I mean President Akufo-Addo under his regime, he received a lot of petitions, right? Petitions, by law, or receive emrano Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. Right. A processes president receive petitioner SSA go through. Yeah. Now committees Council of State international committees we na omo recommend it to the president. Well, it is up to the president to work with it or not. But this is what Article 146 Article 146(1) clause 1. A justice of the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice, can be removed only for 1. Stated misbehavior, 2. Incompetence, 3. Inability to perform duties because of infirmity of body or mind. Now, over 46 2, or see removal can only happen through the procedure set out in Article 146.
That's correct. Where
the petition for the removal of a Chief Justice, the President must act in consultation with the Council of State and appoint a committee to investigate. Now, Obekai 146(7), or say, the committee must be made up of 1. 2 justices of the Supreme Court, 1 as chairman of the committee, 3 other persons who are not members of Parliament, lawyers, or members of the Council of State. 146(8), proceedings for removal must be held in camera, meaning in private. Now, over 146(9), the president must act in accordance with the recommendation of the committee. This means that the committee recommends removal. The president is constitutionally bound to remove the judge. And say, your family ran so at the yard,
yeah.
I mean, where did the president go wrong? Assuming there was no petition, there wouldn't have been a trigger of this particular procedure. But by law, president now received petition in Kwade. I mean, these processes ought to be followed through. And recommendations, but the president is only working with the recommendation. OSHA committee now, formation of the committee. As I say, Chief Justice, Justices of the Supreme Court, 2 of them, Baku must chair the committee. Who we are when you are 3 other persons are non-lawyers, knowledge be about the law. Now, this is what the law says. President Akufo at the time, it was the same. John Mahama time, His Excellency, it is the same. Nothing has changed. So why do we see to create the impression, say, it was an orchestration, say, you be Chief Justice. And even when the law has been followed through, no, we still have those, intentions in our mind. Say, Bibi Ankoye and Abedrua.
Speaker, I sincerely believe, say, Sabi, several petitions would come, and procedurally, Emrana Shesenia emphasis, and Omanpenny a follow. But you see, where in the instance one could preempt, say, this is what was said, say, Yeba Baimwa Yabaye, Nayaba Baimunzo Yaye. Then you give me cause to want to now delve a lot deeper into the issue, say, but I need to see a benefit. Empu near course, no, was it orchestrated? I'm not saying it was orchestrated, but they are too similar in the scheme of work, say, I can ignore them. But Adia when say, and if that is what the law is, then I think there's a problem with our law. Chief Justice Tokonu was a justice of the Superior Court before being nominated to the role of Chief Justice. What are we talking about? We are talking about her role as Chief Justice. So why does she lose her role as a judge of the Superior Court? She has not erred in her role as a judge. So if our law says because one rises to the role of a Chief Justice, everything else, including all the investment, the experience I have built in this woman over the years, and we are not faulting Nejuma Waye as a judge, but administratively, to me, I demand said the head of the judiciary, or the head of the judicial arm, administrative error, assuming say Nyamoka is the case, so she has been removed as a head of the judiciary. Why should she lose her role or her functioning as a judge of the Superior Court? I think that is problematic. And that, for me, I see as a gap in our law. I may not be a lawyer, but this is a boso pocket lawyer.
So I think, in your view, the office of the Chief Justice.
It is the office. It is the office. Because this is experience we are losing as a country. This woman has a lot of experience. What are we going to do with it? What's it? She's losing her entitlement. Come on. That is not right. I think that is a gap in the law. But again, ECOWAS decision, ECOWAS Human Rights Court decision, no. As we speak, we don't know the reasoning, the detailed judgment, the reason now, or Modema for throwing away the case. They have thrown away her petition or her case. But I think in my layman's Boso, the School of Law at Boso, I think basically what this is suggesting. They say she might not have met the threshold for the ECOWAS court for the case to be looked at. And I am eager to read the reasoning now, court on Abema, to see what they are saying.
And now again, me concerns. Anytime President be receiving petition, no, these are procedures will go through. Yes,
correct.
So, for instance, in 2018, Charlotte was saying the EC chairperson was removed. It was through the same process.
Right.
By 28 June 2018, now Yejino, Efri Akonyaso, as a chairperson of the Electoral Commission, a constitutionally created body.
Correct.
Omuye in charge of our election for the purposes of fraud, financial malfeasance, abuse of office, and then a lot of issues by. Now, Obebiema Amadou Sule, deputy EC chair, was equally removed on the said date through the same processes. Petitioner, president, ARCV in 2018. Georgina Opokua Mankwa, the same thing. So, these are series of petitions. Clearly, no, but even in 2018, Gloria Akufo, right? There were petitions to say, In the same 2018, Sophia Ekufo, there were petitions. Mensa Thompson of ASEPA, SND petition, Edema President Ekufo-Addo, say, I mean, Yenyi Justice Sophia Ekufo, Enfrio, as a Chief Justice of the Republic. It went through the same, I mean, processes, but the end point is that the Chief Justice was not removed based on recommendations of the committee and the Council of State, ECA. So these are series of issues. Procedurally.
Yes.
Godfrey Dame, there were several petitions. Even in the current circumstance, before Nana-Addo left office, there were petitions or received about Jane Mensah, the current EC chair. The same procedure, Anna, it had to go through. But at the end of the day, the committee recommended, clearly, it ought to be dismissed because petition, any merit be a Kwesi Enim Justice, former Chief Justice in 2021. There were petitions about him. Kisia Jabin, Special Prosecutor. So all these people, petitions about them. Substantially, the recommendation of one committee as against the other committee might differ, but the procedure, the same, exactly, by law.
Yeah.
So that is where the issues are when it comes to, the Emrano Eka and the SC in time past.
You see, I've been very careful not to go a certain tangent, but procedurally, senior Stephen Fiasiano at the Sane, na until we change the constitution, but now it's and procedurally, need the I remember Black Lion Phantom. You pass a players be or ye feature on blasters more. You be quite any Buama game no I fine. But now you established candidates. And I think say as for the process we'll go through. But for me what matters most and as I say yema yeni echo what are we building? And then I see. And among Ben we are leaving footprints so. Na enchirima mene woni ayeti hakan enchirima bebebebo techrema empro enamri ya de social media be kan ho kran po de agrona sai kra eta hoda eninti ni ayeye biara daache ochina ye be sa fa the same issues no ni aka say papa yi ni oyeye ne kwan so anu no
okay
papa yi ni oyeye ani da ho and all the years or the better nani. Whatever motive there are, I will not be surprised as we speak. There are already petitions against the current Chief Justice. I will not be surprised. But
not that we know of.
Exactly. Do you know the number of petitions are echo? Do you know more petitions that goes to the Jubilee House that the president receives that we don't hear about? You see, and I don't endorse say you've been through because we suspect so nipa no any yen amanyoku enya adwen ana enya ne de ne ba ye yes I mbu man yi.
Okay,
I think say my main fancy here the evidence that you gave with regards to EC and all that. In fact, EC is an important arm of government, constitutionally established. But I think when it comes to weight, we must also be guided. Say we are talking about
they are all guided by constitution.
It is true, but we are also talking about the arms of government here. We're talking about the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary.
Okay.
I think for me it's a little far stretched.
Very well. Mame Enna was saying na yentry your whole Emra yaba will come into the Black Stars issues, na meaning say a lot of you now eager sir we'll get to understand what is happening in Philadelphia in the United States of America. Na yet me the Hong Kong wakakra ansa na ye dia no pay dia no esi. Ma yentry your home I don't pay Ghana, you know, I charge, and I know, sir, of course, tonight will be the night. Now, Alfred Marching.
Speaker, Major so.
Now, anyone want to say?
Nyamiadum ka Chris Sana, the Gusu Aye and Kaka heard the embassy. For the very first time in about 2 decades now, young group say we are Ghana, we say in a young for Ghana and count.
Okay.
It's young boy also on that score.
Okay. But say ye Casano pay Ghana qualifier.
Oh, yeah, of course, and Rana Junior qualifier. And then you see, say results nearby other groups, no.
Okay.
And make it and clear, say we are qualified because we have the third place
nations now. Yes.
3-4 now qualifying. And do I 4 of them.
Okay.
Which you 4 points already. See, in Lusukra, every time be 3-4 number. Frame. So automatically, no. You been that third place slots, no. 80 me.
So, and Grano, there were conversations about the fact, say, I was say you're coming second. People were praying, Crawford Bompire, say, Colombia, right? And topic group, no. Na Ghana, in the second, in our group L.
Yeah.
So that rather than you Colombia, na you escape, I mean, Portugal. Clearly, no, people are equally saying, say, and you win here. What it means is that, say, Colombia and topic group, no, na Portugal top here. Then likelihood see a Beshiamu. You sure so in the next game, no, see it me a show Mokrana. Likelihood to be Spain, so so I don't know permutations in it to say because
well, my quick manner about your phone and I think they can no one on the second place in the and I'm against that.
Okay,
yes, one Thomas Partey was about to Toronto.
Yes,
see this second group of party be out to me.
You have a game more Toronto. Okay,
yeah, try say you better avoid Portugal and Portugal also try somebody avoid the Ghana.
Oh, Sam.
Yes, because Portugal at top of group you win and very likely say you be the second because England so much Panama.
Yes,
and you the second you be share Portugal, that's Group K first. Group K currently Colombia leading with 6 points. Portugal I also mean with 4 points.
Portugal 4 points.
4 points.
Okay.
So Portugal and Colombia and able and there. Into Portugal say Colombia of which permutations in Portugal say Colombia. Over 7
just that Portugal a favorite, but you can't tell.
Okay, or a favorite. You should that word or a favorite. Over so over 7. So over 7 now. Yes, Christian there.
Yes, over 7.
England, Panama. England be top group with goals. The second and the BD. They share Group K first. And they share Group K first. Portugal, like Riley said, and on the Bono, USA. But right after that match, what we didn't who share Spain. Ultimate Spain who share France.
Okay.
Line, Portugal person more avoid this line because I hear the ultimate do episode.
Okay.
It's Portugal might even draw with Colombia. So draw with Colombia, still obey second.
Second. Okay.
So a second now, how about England? Of which Portugal be with managing, which me managing England we are on Canada for Switzerland for lead. Sa to the top.
Okay.
No.
Game plan.
Yes. So yes, send you lose game no end. Emma Croatia.
Yes.
Very likely say you be the third away your group. You the third away your group. You be share Colombia.
Oh, you lose Croatia.
Yes, you be share Colombia. Of which Colombia and Ghana be team manage Colombia. You manage Colombia we are. You tears him Ecuador money Switzerland no kaka krasa to the top.
Okay.
Until we are Ghana ni now to football na say na. Na kupon ka come on reform. The game end. Kofoka ka game your ton be your ton game end.
So as we are going into game no enumere no Ghana ni ote no o best way should be say be lose game way.
Media as central ni say ko enim. Ne di page.
You
lose ende. You lose na the possibility say you bet me do quarterfinals or semi-finals on
high because you be maneuver
match more days
I bet me no more.
Yes, but if you now your next game trust you me you remember fee.
You ne Portugal.
Because
Portugal no buy enye dom sir.
I want no enye draw asemo. I want no e say ba ku film.
Yes.
Until you born 19 we are about 30. About 30 ni we are atopo gina oji. Packet sir. And who nim say wono atame sa abreso nyina say am fa sir.
Oh, but say Benjamin Asari or Honti, near my cool kakra.
Oh, okay. It sana uncommon.
It's Unya and Kayendi third, right? Third place.
Yes.
Na ye man over true. Na ye baby I bet me akwakodru. Rather than say ye be pre second or first.
Yes.
Ewo ye ni group. Na ya kosi at the tougher teams,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know, but I don't know. Say the Okano Ghana for no will agree there.
No, that is the fact.
That is the fact.
Yeah,
okay.
They all say yeah, enjoy tournaments.
But you don't believe see me as Portugal?
Oh no. Born
as sports journalist, only GDC me as Portugal.
Born in England, boy, you know. England any a game changer player with team in him.
And a game changer for Portugal now, Ronaldo.
No, but much said that boyfriend is Bruno Fernandes.
Sana Mokan Hurricane.
I'm against about who here a player obey me as canny. Why are warning there? But just one pass. The brand would need be straight. But need them. You know we need be. But Portugal or Bruno Fernandes. Spain was our Pedro Nimunia, Barcelona, and Koran Bess, and Amania, and now feel no more about no. About one over two. But what Pandeba could be a female movie. England need that quality. You bet me a hurricane so bad, we are no best. Hurricanes or bad party in the G. Okay, give me a clear sanity. It's a day, my and a game current said that 10 said there second hand because we know you draw second call England or Mesha Panama. Yes, or no Panama there.
Croatia is bet me a show.
Columbus bet me a show. I don't believe that Croatia team Kutano as a Kukrafon Dawson. 70 minutes no more breast songs and Colano more. I'm to become match win there. No, then I said tournaments we do so afar my spirits now for my Mwasari no me ade this we are dead.
I mean say man kasa Mwasari necessary.
Let's say we are ni be.
Yegina Asari.
Okay.
Oh there from day one on pen 70 no.
O kasa I say
no make no make kind dey also me here in picture. Na wo kasa
me pen 70.
Wo kasa Yasari ne dey no no dey okay ma.
Yes.
There be untimi nkasa. All this one, also no company as in car at Ziginia first.
But
this week one kasa now converses. I mean,
oh no, that against England.
Exactly. It's baby all do go so come Wasari no. Maybe a boy no more than
and wish me in the game no.
No, not me per expert view. I mean, from the point of view our analysis and I explaining the mano. The best is that we'll be progressing.
Yes.
Because the more we progress, you know. The more answer na yebenya sika, right?
Exactly.
Yes, because you could do 32nd stage now. I mean, you see kasa.
Yes, sir. For now, 9 million is conked.
So
right after
I mean,
the match,
clearly,
you call
you call any man I think say quarterfinals ubenya saying $12 million.
That be
ubenya saying
ebro
12 million.
Move such a 9 million. Oko round to additional to making it 11 million. 16 round of 16
$15 million.
15.
Yes.
That
is 18 or $19 million. Until you call any man.
Same is about 20 to 23 thereabout.
Okay.
And a fan and 50.
I see. I know you're a champion. Who win World Cup now? $50 million. And I'm sure they're not very exciting part. Players in the call all out. But I come from Intio.
So you see.
What do you wish for Ghana? Do you wish
until this analysis?
Yes.
I believe in expert opinion. Until this analysis, all I was wishing for is a win.
It's a win, okay.
But listening to the analysis,
and the boys now farm you should know where it's coming from.
But I'm sure the coach is also an experienced person.
Okay.
Ultimately, Ghana will qualify to the next stage. And now, per yesterday's results, they are qualified. So what is going to be the best for us as a country? We want to enjoy the game a bit more. And I expect the coach and his technical team say, because now we are qualified.
And Carlos Queiroz is so coachy Portugal in the last World Cup. Colombia.
So that is.
So I don't know why I say Yesuro visa. But in Portugal,
from that head, the way you are going,
I would wait to say near South Africa, no.
Yeah.
You be drew.
Okay.
Let me say players equal. Not yes, they near W'asem Yie. but what in kakra pete sabo one say
I mean ya can double finance
we do be ya kasa yen susu and so nia ebet mi aye bia to help us get to the top no I am all for it.
I mean ya can Ghana double finance pa.
It is possible.
It
is possible.
Speaker friend no yes sports journalist no. Only me say possible say meet me about finance.
Thank God he's not the coach.
He's not the coach.
Speaker maybe a football akwakodo no. Sentrani bebre.
Yeah.
Na sesia Black Stars no omo atre and say the soul of the nation is behind them. Senior na ye name Black Stars of old no sesia sunsum naba.
Yeah.
Inti analysis major technical man na ye no. Etre and say yensu esi enchen yeti esi enchen no. Ye hwe match na ye make sure say ye nom ne kakra.
But players don't communicate with us.
I mean, you can no. Make I say, who say?
Baby, all I say, the boys are going to play a fix him or something.
WWC who say players no play in alignment to when
what's happening.
That is him say you see a far rough road in the area cost road.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not come. What's the rough road we want to say a far the cost road.
Exactly.
So be a cranny game.
It just say football.
And I'm sure these big teams in the crowd will now try some better avoid.
You see Portugal or drawing.
Football no I strategy. So send your politics and so I strategy no. So football no say you bet me maneuver. See a Kukumasi, a quite be brought me if I Kukumasi. Yes. See a Kotamale, a quite brought if I could Tamale. It is a see, now I can see between Manovako baby. Say, oh, yeah, mammy, Nasa, and there, oh, Cobon Pie TV Soa. And as a young girl, that's all quite players and Lucy. And they be no, can say, Yabutre, and Cassa, we share Ghana and England, but no, Ghana from US are almost stadium. Oh, see, now that space to do a hello, now that how you say that was Obiaba your coach. So it's a say, and the Epper says, it's a see a quan you to maneuver a queen in Seni Baby Jessica, and let's enjoy the match.
Okay. Ben.
Yeah. You never see that. The bones are rotten.
I cry to full Benjamin Asari so that them.
Unfortunately, we keep home.
Hey, okay.
I don't want to keep home. We are eating a mini. We never see that until the bones are rotten. You see, many can't permutations from the technical point. No correct. But the thing is that we make Malusuna. You did this a bit machine on the cross and show.
Exactly. Because there's a game of football.
Unknown teams, no, or more hard me, Papa. Until Yanshe. Yes, you be you share Portugal. I believe it's a bit much more. I have that belief. Say the young men are very patriotic. They are determined. They are united, and I think Omudi, Kenya be a bayemu. Say a bit much. And TV meaning say Portugal also Colombia a bit much more. And the coach also at least what Omar Campono and Nigeria Baho Ayu is leading them well. We never say that, and
there are promises. Ibrahim, promise you.
Actually, Omochia bonuses in
winning bonuses in that.
Okay, players no sometimes in this kind of wheel because here I get Opoku like no, but players
we move on the low kakra, but one
maybe man on pesca, but players you didn't share them pesca. Pesca the about
Omo Brazil, Nicaria and Demiwa. Kobodi ona Obodi.
We no share them pesca sa anti so Ombetuma Omo Peba and Yanisa on said Omo focus in share this because they want to make a name for themselves. Right? Unfortunately, aside say Benjamin Sari free house of Fukuno, you want another Kwakubon South on some wine.
Oh boy, which you are.
Kwakubon South 112 player. I so bointy. Eja Bonsam. So yes, it idea devil idea. Yes, so you want W'asem Yie. We and a betray Obobre.
Okay.
Say Otimi we ne
shall you see control Hurricane. Let me control Ronaldo.
And Aquano, what on who you found? What on who you on your way to the Yense. Not me, here, and they say bit much Portugal. Say Colombia, say Portugal, or to me a show one. I think that a bit marketing ye. Said the Oye no crowd.
Like seriously.
Oh, yeah, marketing ye. Oh, I mean, you have a platform, Masananya. Why not platform?
International media in
this Paris Morgan. And cool. I'm inviting a host to know. Bonsam, yeah, Bonsam.
Pardon, it's a boy.
When Wednesday devil. Nti yesre no ye hye we a o man hye Portugal ene I mean sure Christian Donald Trump crabe frɛ no because e ba sa na na e say no ni witchery na say craft no kra no mastercraft na aboa ma
family boa Ghana nchichi
o de Ghana de ono obo ne ho modern politicians na Kwaku Sam de why am Ghana I think that he's even served Ghana better than some of the politicians we have in Ghana. Why? Now, be what you yani UK about draw, England about draw. No, they are not my head.
They are not on this platform. They are not on this platform. Hey, Onyanko Poa, you never be Brahmaye.
Messi, Menkasa, Onyamio, Messi, politicians being your mind.
Onyanko Poa, my way.
The kind of entertainment am I in my end? Any UK about England about draw. No, he's done there na politician my.
The coach. Nema credit, nema coach.
Yeah, coach ni ya de man. He's the 12th.
You don't believe in spirituality ka football.
No.
Oh.
And Kwaku Sam team or the buy and some down for relegation.
That is that.
Or not team, but the team went to relegation.
Na mutia no to quite. But I think that we wish ourselves well. Yeah, more modern intimation.
Until prediction, you're saying?
My prediction is 1 for Ghana or draw for Ghana.
1 for Ghana or draw for Ghana.
Yeah.
Alfred.
Well,
Would they lose now? I hope you say they lose.
Game you lose. Game I don't see us losing. Ghana fall no they won't. Where's Nankasa will not because.
But what Ghanaians prefer say you be winning Colombia. Near keep you clean sheet. That was group stage, you know. Now, so to speak, I mean Portugal share crying at least.
Yes. Players in the air share more market value.
Okay.
And they're most important, so they have to deliver. Yeah. So be your goal, so be your assist. So be more giving a man that way, that way. On normal here first.
Okay.
See, one kid now, I'm not too sure. Say, see, your coach and I said, before decided, say, don't play the good players like. And no way for a year, no for the big stars in Africa. Okay. But France and Fonanesa, they came with the Arsenal. First, from why Colombia for the 3 months, no, you go Seba, and somebody first in the airborne manager for 4-1. Until be a coach in the meeting, you second team in the abo. And then they know second team almost strength, you can do maybe that level. The meeting, but say first team and everybody, trust me, maybe my draw.
Okay. But, Doc, prediction.
Well,
2 doctors.
In my heart of hearts, 1-0. That is my heart of hearts.
I want a 2-1.
You want a 2-1?
Yes.
Okay.
Ghana should score 2.
But I'm inviting you. And remember me, I am called ANC more. Only FM team, no. Alfred will be there.
ANC more.
ANC. And remember, I won't and cry be.
Unless no.
Nah, yeah.
Just opposite the PlayStation.
Heritage on.
Heritage on. Mayana was saying, "Na yem found see me did Kwame up here on behalf of my team. Na no pay yadamunina say I don't yani a Juada yano beshia and radio so on Onia FM 95.1. Yesem paso na yatua so asom Ghana. Enjoy your weekend. Saturday or Sunday, right? And you winning by 10:30, 11. Yeah, we need na Musa. And now some na make na ka ka na be. Say Saturday. Na be. We need na. Ujina mu to ochina no pa. Okay. Thank you so much.
Ochina ebe kwa sorry.
Thank you so much for your time. I don't be any other say never say nobody share. Thank you.
Onuye TV, Onuye TV, Onuye TV, they're gonna